All right. Well, Eddie Izzard is one of the smartest and funniest comedians in the world and is bringing the Remix Tour, the first 35 years, to the Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Providence, Rhode Island, coming up on Sunday, October 6th. And so excited to be able to welcome you to the program, Eddie. How are you doing?
I am doing very well, thank you. The weather here in London has been terrible today, but now it's got blue skies because you might, in America, you might just think we get rain all the time, but we did have that today. This morning was typical us, but now it's blue skies and it's very nice. So I'm happy and looking forward to coming out to America again, where nothing really is going on in America except for something around the 5th of November, I hear. But apart from that, it's just a general October, November in America. But great to come out and join you again.
Well, we're very excited to have you here on October 6th. So talk to me about the idea of the Remix Tour. So 35 years of comedy. So when people come to this, they're going to hear kind of some of the greatest hits, the greatest bits, so to speak.
They will. The Death Star Canteen is there. The church, talking about Church of England, talking about all stuff that's gone before. I allow myself to go through all my first 35 years and choose any bits I like and change them around night to night. And they will be remixed, a bit like, do you remember Madonna when she did Like a Virgin, as a German torch song? She slowed it right down and did it in different ways. That's what I can do with my stuff. So there will be some jokes you go, oh, I know that's where that joke's supposed to be. And I expected that joke. And then I go off and do other jokes. You go, oh, I didn't know you were going to say that. Because I keep remixing it. I keep finding other new things in the material that is old. I think if the Stones, if they're doing I Can't Get No Satisfaction, they have to do that pretty much as it was recorded. And I'm allowing myself to go off in different tangents because with comedy, the joy can diminish if you say this. Once you've heard the joke a few times, you can lose it a bit. But that's where I go. I go into lots of different places, but it's still intelligent and silly and very Monty Python influenced.
And in the 35 years since we've known you as a stand-up comedian, you've also taken a lot of dramatic roles, the one-person shows with Hamlet and Great Expectations. So you've really kind of expanded your skill set or expanded, what people know you for. So
Yeah.
you can kind of revisit these bits a little bit and add different flourishes and add different things. Has the dramatic stuff that you've done had an effect on your stand-up comedy?
That's a very good question. And yes, it has. I think there was a style that I developed in my I didn't I think design it this way, but I used to drivel off sometimes and just go, yeah, anyway. So I'd start mumbling, and you couldn't quite work out what I was saying. And it was because I was ad-libbing probably, or developed it in an ad-lib, and I didn't know where the comedy was going. But to be having Hamlet was the thing I was most recently doing in New York and in Chicago. To great results, and the articulation to get Shakespeare's words out of your mouth, or Dickens's. I did Great Expectations just before that. The dramatic work does help me articulate in a much clearer way, and hopefully I slow down because I have a tendency to speed up. That also comes from fear in stand-up when you think they won't laugh, keep talking quickly. So hopefully I slow down and I hit the ideas and the thoughts in a clearer way, and I think my comedy is better for it.
Well, I've heard you describe your comedy before as being, in the vein of Monty Python. And when you are looking at the work that Python did, they're a troupe. They're a group of people working off each other. You are a troupe unto yourself because you play all the different parts and the stories that you're telling. Do you ever kind of lose yourself and get kind of lost in that conversation sometimes?
Sometimes I tried to, I don't know if lost is the right word. What I did do, like if anyone knows Death Star Canteen, it's the idea of Darth Vader, which I do in the show, and it's kind of a famous bit I did with the idea that in action movies, no one eats anything ever. Ever. If you look at it, if you track all your action movies, and I'm a big action movie fan, no one stops and has a burger at any point. John Wick, Keanu doesn't ever sit down and have anything to eat. He just it's the fighting you have to do. So I just thought surely after they blew up Alderaan, surely Darth Vader would go down to the cantina, the cafe, the cafeteria, and have something to eat. Penne alla arrabbiata was what I decided to have. And the discussion between him and the woman behind the counter, and whether he needs a tray or not, and whether she's challenging him to a fight to the death. And this exchange would change every night. Every night that I did it, it would change. And then we recorded one, and that was the one that went down and became the definitive one. But So I know which character I'm playing, but I will change what I'm saying night to night again, as I did, and it will be somewhat like the recording that you might have heard, and it will be somewhat not like that because I'll go to different places. So I don't quite know what they're going to say. I try and trick myself.
And unlike a band where they might, you know, get upset if something sounds different than it does on the record, with comedy, taking it into all these different directions, it just makes it a whole new show with just some familiar beats.
I hope so, but some people do get annoyed. But I cannot do it. I cannot. With music, it is a mind gig. With comedy, it's when the music's a feel gig and comedy is a mind gig. And I can't, because I know if you think about what comedy is, we have to trick audience into thinking, oh, you're going in that direction. Oh, you went in that direction. Oh, and that makes you laugh. The unexpected juxtaposition of words and ideas. And so I have to try and trick myself, and that keeps me joyful and makes the whole show work. But if I do the same thing, which I've heard a million times, it begins to die, becomes like a prayer that no one's listening to. So I can't do that. So this is how I have to do it. That's why it's remix. It is the remix tour and not the same as before tour.
And you mentioned, you know, at the beginning of our conversation, you mentioned what's coming up with the American election and with all the things that are going on in the world. Are you constantly coming up with new ideas for future stand-up performances, or are you kind of focused on some other things at this time?
No, I'm focusing on taking Hamlet across the world next year, on trying to get into political world, into Houses of Parliament in my political life at some point, which I'm been trying to. I've had about two goes at primaries that you would call them in America, and which I came second in, but I need to come first, of course, to get to the next stage. I'm doing more filmed work. I love film drama. That's my big love. Doing stand-up comedy in Spanish. That's what I really want to do as well. So there's a number of things which are playing around. It's just exactly what happens when is not determined, but I'm still a strong activist. I still believe in everyone in the world has the right to a fair chance in life. I'm going to keep living my life to promote that and encourage people to have a fair chance, or encouraging people to be allowed to have a fair chance in life. But yeah, I'm very happy with where I am at the moment, and I feel I'm fully trained and ready to go.
All right. Well, and you'll be in Providence on October 6th at the Veterans Memorial Auditorium. People can get tickets still at thevetsri.com. There's still a limited number of tickets available. Have you been to Providence before? Is it a city you're familiar with?
I haven't. I went for a run, and I was running past a sewing and haberdashery shop. I don't know if you've got call it haberdashery shop, but it was a sewing shop, and it was just wonderful. The things in the window. There was a woman who was running it, and it could have been her shop. And I just went in and I said, I really like this shop, and so I bought something very small. And I just said, I want to give you money because this is a good shop. I do like retail. I'm a sad person. I did accounting and financial management when I was a kid at university, and well-run shops, or shops with great ideas and nice windows with interesting things. I just like it. It was a fabulous shop in Providence, Rhode Island. I was on a run and I stopped there and I said hello and I bought something, and I just thought I want to do that. So that stuck in my mind.
Well, hopefully the shop's still around when you come back on October 6th.
I'll go and find it, see if I can find it.
All right. Thank you so much for the time. We look forward to seeing you at the Vets and looking forward to seeing how everything gets remixed.
Brilliant. Good to talk to you.
Likewise. Thank you.
Cheers.